Hey, good evening, everybody. Subby here. So we do have a complex of storms that is coming through Cass County right now that prompted a severe thunderstorm warning for some strong winds there just outside of west of Harrisonville, west of Pleasant Hill. It has now expired, but we still have a rather large complex of thunderstorms. Looks like you just get ready to come into Harrisonville. What you were looking at right there was the MoDOT Scout right there at I-49, and I believe that was right on I-49 there at the Harrisonville junction. And it is not quite hit there yet on I-49, but for those of you that's going to be traveling, coming home, actually I just got home and ran back up to the office here, so you guys are going to be getting some torrential rains. Not quite a bit of lightning, but not as much as what we've seen here over the last couple thunderstorms that we have had. But we still have some lightning going on here. Let me check and make sure. It's been a while since I've had this. I might not have lightning on. So, yeah, we do have a lot of lightning. It helps when you turn your lightning tracker on. Hi, Pam. Good evening. Letting everybody know that I am live. We're going to keep up. On this here for the next few minutes. And again, a lot of people are going to be on their way home right now. We backed this off, but we do have a couple other strong cells out here in eastern Kansas. This is going to be down just northwest of Quincy, Kansas right now. They have a severe thunderstorm warning out. And then, of course, we got a pretty good line from Chillicothe down through Braymore down to Lawson. Kind of surprised we don't have any strong winds out ahead of that little segment of thunderstorms. But we'll watch these for the next few minutes. This is what Scout Cam looks like right now. This is on I-49. We're just now starting to kind of come across I-49. This must be just south, I believe, of Harrisonville. Hi, Sally. So again, we've got those dreaded little outflow punches. As you can see right here, those are going to be they're going to be moving south, and we'll be watching for any development along that, because they're going to be pushing right back down into Bates and Henry County, Johnson County. We'll be watching for any thunderstorm development. The way these storms are moving right now, this is what's going to be bringing the threat of flooding rains here from east central Kansas up through the KC Metro all the way up to Chillicothe. This is kind of the bullseye for some of that flash flooding that we were talking about this morning for Johnson, Cass, Pettis County. We're going to kind of watch these cells, see if any of them develop a little bit further south, maybe into Bates, Henry, maybe even Benton County as we go through the heat of the day. Typically this time of year between the 7 and 9 p.m. time frame is kind of that golden time in which we start to develop a little bit of a low-level jet. Once the sun goes down, we get that kind of aid in the thunderstorm development as well. So we're just going to have to see how the atmosphere reacts having a outflow boundary go through. We're very warm out there, very humid out there as well. So right now we don't have any advisories. We don't have any special weather statements. We don't have any severe thunderstorm warnings right now in west central Missouri. About 30 minutes ago, they issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Cass County for some strong straight line winds. Right now, it looked like it had weakened to below severe limits. But still, if you're going to be driving through I-49, 7 highway, just be prepared for some torrential rainfall. And then, of course, as we go through the evening, we will be having more thunderstorms work up from out here in east central Kansas, going across the same areas that are being hit right now. So, of course, that's going to cause a little bit of a flooding concern in Cass and Johnson, Jackson, Lafayette counties. You guys are all kind of in that bullseye for some flooding concerns this evening. Of course, being down here at the office, I don't have the privilege of having my lightning detector notifying me when there's lightning. So I'm gonna have to rely on you guys to tell me if it's lightning. So hopefully everybody had a great Thursday. I know it was hot. We got more heat coming in as we go into the weekend, as well as the first part of next week. And again, if anybody is looking to try to get some consecutive dry days in a row, we can really start on that on Saturday, especially for you guys that are out trying to get maybe a second fescue cut. Or maybe get some hay down and get it baled up. Saturday through Tuesday looks dry. They look hot, but they look dry. So that's going to be a great time. As kind of looking down long range, we kind of talked about it this morning a little bit. We're going to get a cool down once we start August, which we are more than ready for. But we're going to have another ridge set up. We'll be on the cool side of this thing. However, we're going to be on the outside edge, in which we could see a couple cold fronts come through very quickly. Those first 10, 13, 14 days of August, that we might get a little bit of precipitation during that time. So if you recall, we were kind of looking at a pretty good dry period between the 1st and the 13th of August. It's still looking like the majority of it's going to be dry, but now that we're going to be about 90 miles further east of where this ridge is going to set up for the first 2 weeks of August, we're going to be kind of in that zone here in west central Missouri where we might get some of those showers and thunderstorms as they rotate clockwise around that high pressure system. So definitely something we want to keep an eye on. But starting Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, great days to be able to get out. That's going to be our least chance to get any precipitation. And the reason is because that that high pressure system is going to be right on top of us. So we're that ring of fire where the thunderstorms and showers rotate clockwise around that high pressure system. We're going to be in the middle. So the storms are going to be going around us for the most part. So very, very high, very, very hot, but at least I think we're going to be dry so everybody can get out and get some work done in the fields. Thanks, Frugal Rock. Hi, Lucky. So again, we've got, let me put this in motion. You guys kind of see how this line is moving. Most of these storms are moving northeast. What I'm going to be watching is this outflow boundary. This thing has hit us more times than not this season so far. So, and again, any thunderstorms. They could develop along the leading edge of this gust front, this outflow boundary. It's going to serve kind of like its own little cold front. So of course you guys know how hot and humid it is out there right now. You got a cold front moving through, could instigate a few thunderstorms along the leading edge or right behind this gust front. So going to be watching for any thunderstorm development a little bit further south into maybe Bates County, Henry County, and of course this line is moving into northwest parts of Johnson County. Right now it's below severe limits. We did have a severe thunderstorm warning about 35 minutes ago for Cass County for some strong straight line winds. It did weaken. They did allow that to expire. But I'm gonna stay with you guys here just for a little bit. A lot of people are out on the road, going down 7 Highway, 49, I-49, north and south. And of course, if you're gonna be heading down 50 Highway between Lee Summit and Warrensburg, you're gonna have to know you're gonna be getting in some blinding rains as well as a lot of lightning too. So keep that in mind if you're getting ready to head out on a highway to head home for the evening. Drive for the demo, yes sir. I think Saturday it's going to be hot though, but at least you're going to be dry for the demo derby, I believe. Take a look a little bit closer up toward right in Harrisonville over I-49. Let's take a look at that here real quick. And you guys can see torrential rains ongoing now. This is the Scout Cam I-49 southbound at Missouri Highway 2. You know, it's coming down, coming down pretty good there across I-49 right now. Now, one thing that I can't say though, with these storms that are lining up now from Burlington, Kansas, up through Garnett, Osawatomie, Paola, Harrisonville, Pleasant Hill. I do believe this outflow boundary is going to help us get some moisture here in west central Missouri later on tonight. I think this might serve as kind of a focus to help these showers and thunderstorms develop maybe just a little bit further south. All the models have seemed to show that from about Belton, Pleasant Hill, Lee Summit, and north was going to get all these training thunderstorms, and I still think they're going to get quite a bit of moisture up here in the KC metro area. But now that these thunderstorms have developed along this line right here, those outflow boundaries are going to kind of help sink this a little bit further south, hopefully be able to get us in some more moisture. We don't need the flooding rains, but I think we could use a little bit of moisture considering we're going to be so dry for, really about the, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for the most part. So we could use a little bit of drink. We just don't need the flooding rains. But I have a feeling this is going to sink the chances of rain a little bit further south into west central Missouri as we go, say, like within the 7-8 o'clock time frame tonight, somewhere in that time frame. I'd say we're going to start to see it really build up out here in eastern Kansas and then work its way and hopefully be able to get everybody a drink here in west central Missouri. Storming like crazy in Harrisonville. Yeah, they're getting a pretty good storm right now. That's for sure. So that's what we're going to be watching. We're going to be watching for two different things. We're going to see if this line is going to kind of retreat back up to the north and kind of centered across that Kansas City metro area, or if it's going to allow for a buildup of thunderstorms out here in eastern Kansas and affect more of west central Missouri here this evening. So it's really coming down up there around 2 highway off of I-49 right now. Let you guys take a look at that. It's really, visibilities you can tell are starting to go down a little bit right now. Just kind of checking out to see National Weather Service if they're throwing anything else in there for us. So this is kind of what their thinking is. I'll let you guys take a look at this here. So they are saying heavy rainfall, flooding, gusty wind 40 to 50 miles per hour. A few 60 mile per hour gusts are possible. Frequent lightning. And then of course they're watching the area for increasing heavy rainfall. And that's actually going to be right down here. This is just south of Kansas City, including Cass County, Johnson County. They're watching this area. Then of course up here near Chillicothe, Kirksville, Bethany, and that area as well. But with these outflow boundaries being the way they are, just kind of, I'm wondering if these aren't going to sink a little bit further south, maybe into more of west central Missouri. So that's what I am watching for at the current time right now. And again, I hope everybody is having a great evening. And one of the biggest reasons why we are live tonight is we did have a severe thunderstorm warning briefly for Cass County. And that was due to strong straight line winds possible. It was allowed to expire. It did weaken as it come into Cass County, but as you guys can see, it's still packing a heck of a punch right now and getting ready to come into Johnson County right now. I am going to change. I want to go to make it a little bit easier for you guys to see. So Holden, Kingsville, Eastland, Garden City, you guys are going to be set up here for to get some of these heavy rains as well. A lot of lightning. Ashley's currently stuck in a car with her 2 kids. So the good news is that everything is sub-severe right now. So we don't have anything severe currently out there in Bates County, Jackson County, Johnson County, Lafayette County. Everybody right now, just a lot of lightning, a lot of rainfall, and then of course I'm going to be continuing to watch these cells out here in eastern Kansas. Going to see if they're going to kind of back build and maybe intensify a little bit, maybe incorporate a little bit more of west central Missouri. Right now we have Cass County, Johnson County, Pettis County under a flash flood watch for these storms tonight, as well as a little bit further north into Jackson County, Johnson County, Kansas, Wyandotte County, Kansas, Lafayette County. That's kind of the bullseye of where the training of thunderstorms are expected. But since these thunderstorms kind of they began a little bit further south than I think what was originally shown on a lot of the models, and I don't know, it's hard to say right now if it's going to kind of shoot back up to the north a little bit where the front's at, or if the outflow boundaries are going to help sink it a little bit further south. Check out here, cause I'm with Scott Baker. Do we keep spraying or shut down? So I guess Scott Baker mentioned that too. I must have missed that in chat. Well, with you guys are down. I believe both of you guys are down a little bit further south toward Montrose. I'll show you guys. Let's see what the models are doing right now. If we put this in motion, and again, you notice that outflow boundary right here. That's the outflow boundary, and notice how those thunderstorms are kind of following that outflow boundary. So now we have some thunderstorms down here in southeast Cass County right now. So I would keep spraying. I would keep spraying for right now, but man, I'd be watching this line right here. It could very well sink a little bit further south, but if you were in Uric right now, I'd probably be telling you to hold off. But down here, we'll see if this outflow boundary sometimes will wash out in the atmosphere. And then everything will kind of begin to shift back up to the north a little bit. So I would say right now you go ahead and keep going right now, and watch this. If you start to see more thunderstorms start lining up here in Bates County, you probably ought to shut it down right now. Let's take a look, since there's no severe weather right now, let's take a look at the latest short-term model on here real quick. Let's get the latest. This is 91% complete right now. Let's see what it's showing. Well, it is showing majority of it staying north, but we do have a couple cells that come into Henry County. So that's at 6 p.m., 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. And we're still seeing thunderstorms coming across that Kansas City metro area. And that's where the flooding concerns are going to be. Let me see if I can check out another. Let's try the NAM. Let's see what the NAM is showing. Wow. So the NAM is showing this thing to come through and keep sinking south. That's boy, you got two totally different models right now going on. The North American model is showing the line to intensify out in eastern Kansas and then have it drop south along with that outflow boundary. Yet the HRRR short-term model is actually showing a lot of the activity staying to the north of Clinton. So it's going to be pretty important to keep a close eye on this outflow boundary and see how the atmosphere reacts to that. Unfortunately, you've got I've got another model I'm looking at up here. This is the high resolution model, and it's also showing that it stays north. But again, guys, you know, there's not a forecaster out there that can talk about 100% chance of this happening one way or the other right now. It's how the atmosphere is going to react to this outflow boundary. But right now, I would say keep spraying for right now down around the Montrose, Appleton City area, and let's see what this outflow boundary does here over the next 30 minutes or so. That ought to give us a pretty good indication if these storms are going to kind of start working their way back up to the north, or if they're going to follow the outflow boundary. Hi, Taylor. So for the most part, the biggest concern is going to be for some very, very heavy rains. And the main reason is because they're going to come in waves. They're going to come, they're going to be training over the same areas. Right now, the bullseye here around in our area is going to be Cass, Johnson, Pettis counties. But we're going to have to wait and see, since this line developed a little bit further south than what the models were showing earlier today. We're going to have to wait and see if they're going to follow the outflow and maybe move into west central Missouri a little bit deeper, maybe into Henry, Bates, and Benton counties possibly. We're really watching this outflow boundary right here. That's what we're watching. This line right here. We're going to see if thunderstorms will follow that outflow boundary, or if the thunderstorms will move a little bit closer to the front, back up to the north. Hi, Misty. So I'm going to show you guys, this is what the National Weather Service uses as far as their models go. This is one model, and if you can pick out, you know, where St. Clair, Henry County, that's a lot of thunderstorms moving into our area. That's one model. And then we look at the latest short-term model, and this is the latest short-term model. You notice how those thunderstorms ride back up north again and goes across the KC metro area, St. Joe, to Kansas City, and the training of thunderstorms. That's the HRRR short-term model. So we have two totally different sets of data that we're looking at that just come out, and they're showing two completely different things. So that's sometimes that's what we're calling nowcasting, in which you have to kind of throw the models out the window. You have to take a look what's in front of you on radar. And one thing I'm noticing right now is we got a couple more thunderstorms forming along that outflow down here in Bates County. We have one just northwest of Amsterdam and another one just west of Adrian. We're going to see if they're going to kind of dissipate, because you have to keep in mind the front is still way back behind here. So their longevity, they're solely dependent on this outflow boundary for their support. So we'll see if they kind of dissipate or if they grow into clusters, and that's how we're going to know if we're going to start to get a little bit more thunderstorms down here a little further south into Bates, Henry, Benton County, maybe even northern St. Clair County. You don't have to worry, Rebecca. It's not going to get too bad. We're talking 30, 40 mile an hour winds is possible. Of course, these are summertime thunderstorms. That's possible with any thunderstorm this time of year. We could get some strong straight line winds, 30, 40 mile an hour. Now, there is the possibility that we could get a one or two wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. Although that's very slim chance, we do have that possibility, and it has happened. It did create a severe thunderstorm warning for Cass County about an hour ago. So that's what we're kind of watching. This is probably not going to be an extended live session tonight, because we're really not expecting much of the way of severe weather outside of possibility of a strong wind gust or two. And of course, we're going to be keeping a close eye on the flooding situation, depending on where this line of thunderstorms line up, because they're going to be coming from the southwest to the northeast, and where they set up, they're going to go over the same areas for the next few hours. And of course, that's potential to get anywhere between 2 to 5 inches of rainfall. So I don't think anybody needs 5 inches of rainfall right now, but we're going to have to see where this line of storm sets up. To tell you what kind of rainfall we're looking at, they do have a report, 40 minutes, 2.3 inches of rainfall. That is what we're concerned about tonight the most, is going to be for the flooding potential. And again, that's 40 minutes, 2.3 inches of rainfall, and that was up there. That was up there in the Livingston County. That's up there right around Chillicothe area, Chillicothe, just west of Brookfield. So it does have potential to put down a lot of rainfall in a very short amount of time. And we're still seeing just a few more thunderstorms popping up here. In Bates County. So Dayton, Missouri. Show you guys where Dayton is. Right here at Dayton, Missouri, just west of Creighton. So that's where that is where that outflow boundary is set up, almost over Dayton right now, and you can actually see it coming through. Here is a live look of the Dayton cam looking east. Right now, that is the leading edge of this gust front, or outflow boundary, if you will, that's going through. This is going to be just east of Adrian, west of Creighton. Pretty ominous skies out there right now. This is actually looking north up here toward Garden City, where they're getting a big dose of rain up here near Garden City. Take a look at, you can definitely see the rains off near Garden City, looking off to the north there at Dayton. Hi, Misty. Good evening. I'll be keeping a close eye on the sky cams as well. Everybody knows where the Creighton gas station's at. Here's another view looking across 7 Highway there at Creighton gas station, right there at the Creighton exit. You are looking northwest right now. Pretty ominous skies. You're going to be looking over there toward the Garden City, Harrisville area. Oh, Dayton is having their VBS this week. Hi, Ashley. Hello from Raymore. And of course, this is what we were looking at, this cell up here near Garden City and Harrisonville Way. We've got, we still have a few thunderstorms still developing along that outflow boundary just northwest of Adrian, north of Adrian near Archie. And we got a pretty strong line of storms that's coming through Johnson County right now. Get ready to come through Holden, and then Centerview, and then eventually Warrensburg. So they're getting torrential rains there at Pittsville. See if I have a cam there. So they did issue a flash flood warning up here near the Chillicothe, where we were seeing those rainfall rates, 2.3 inches of rainfall in 40 minutes. So very, very heavy rain ongoing up here right around Chillicothe, Chula. That's going to be Braymore, Cameron, Hamilton, Breckenridge. Let's put this in motion, see if we kind of... So all the storms still moving pretty much to the northeast. And again, we're watching this outflow boundary to see if any more thunderstorms are going to develop as that outflow boundary continues to sink south. It's getting ready to come into Bates and Henry counties right now, so we'll be watching for any pop-up thunderstorms along this outflow boundary, this gust front. Wow, Harrisville got 2.5 inches in your rain gauge. Wow. VBS, that's Vacation Bible School. Somebody had mentioned that Dayton, they were having their Vacation Bible School ongoing tonight, in which there's nothing to be concerned about other than make sure that everybody's inside because of the lightning, torrential rains. But they might have had to move the kiddos inside. I did games for Vacation Bible School for several years, so this time of year you don't like to have kids inside. You want them outside, let them spend that energy a little bit. So maybe this will blow past, they can get the kiddos back outside again. Alright guys, so I tell you what I'm going to do. We don't have any severe weather that's ongoing down here in west central Missouri right now. The strongest part of this line, this broken line of storms, is coming into Johnson County, Missouri. And that's going to be coming through Holden, going to be coming through Warrensburg here in about 20 minutes. And then eventually over toward Knob Noster, Concordia, Lamont. Right now I'm going to be staying here for a while. I'm going to be watching this outflow boundary, this gust front, this area of rain cooled air for any more thunderstorm development along this line. And I'll be monitoring National Weather Service, of course, as well. And then if we get anything here in west central Missouri that we need to discuss, whether that's flooding rains or a severe thunderstorm warning, something to that regard, some potential of some high winds, I will come back live tonight and we'll walk through the storms together. I'll be keeping a close eye on these cells down here in eastern Kansas as well. So this will give me a chance to grab a bite to eat, grab a little bit of dinner, and then be able to continue to track these storms as they move through parts of west central Missouri. So right now, hey Junior, good to see you, buddy. Right now, Misty, we're watching this outflow boundary too. So this outflow boundary, we're starting to see a few little isolated thunderstorms pop up along that boundary that's sinking to the south. So that outflow boundary will come through Windsor, it will come through Clinton, will come through Butler. Now what we're waiting on to see if these thunderstorms are going to continue to follow that outflow boundary, or if these thunderstorms are going to do what the data is suggesting and kind of move back up to the north closer to the front, in which if that happens, then this area in here is going to be really under the gun for flooding rains. We're going to get a lot of training of thunderstorms up and down from southwest to northeast in that area. Now, if these thunderstorms continue to follow the outflow, then what we're going to have to do, we're going to have to, kind of be ready in this area for the potential of seeing some training thunderstorms and those torrential rains in that area. So, right now, most indications are showing that it's going to kind of slide back up to the north again. But that's something I'm going to be watching here over the next hour or two and see how these thunderstorms react to the atmosphere in its current state right now. And then, of course, if we get any stronger cells in our area, I will be coming back on live down here at the office to keep you guys informed. So right now, I know we've got 2 or 3 guys that are out spraying right now down here in southern Henry County. Be watching that radar, because you're going to be watching this little gust front right here. This is what you are. That's what you're going to be watching for any thunderstorm development. Most of this activity is going to stay north of your area, but that's not to say a couple thunderstorms can't form along this line and happen to be right on top of your field. So you're just going to have to stay weather aware. Watch this on your radar. If anybody is looking for a good radar app for your phone or tablet, something that's not going to break the bank, how about free? You can go to WeatherWise, download the app. It's free, and you get all the same features that I'm currently using right now. This is actually Radar Omega. I brought that up. That was the first thing that I brought. That's the first radar app that I brought up, trying to hurry to get on live with you guys a little bit earlier. But WeatherWise, it's a free app. You can follow that. You can also follow that gust front, that outflow boundary, and you can kind of see where those thunderstorms could develop along and just behind that gust front. So for right now, guys, I think I'm going to call it. And again, we are going to sign off for right now. I'll be watching in the background. I'm going to grab some dinner, and then I'll be talking to you guys probably here within about the next 30-45 minutes. Have a good night, guys.